Is there a huge difference between the chords traditional composers used when compared to those that modern composers use? Or are they really all using the same chords? Let's find out. I'm going to give you a choice between four composers. You have to choose between Wagner, who was born in 1813, Tchaikovsky, who was born in 1840, Rimsky-Korsakov, who was born in 1844, and Sting, who was born in 1951. Most people consider these first three as classical composers. They were actually Romantic composers all living in the 1800s. Then, of course, Sting is obviously a composer of popular music, although describing the genre of his music is very difficult. First, I will play four chords that are all different kinds of seven chords and that are morphing chords. They are all rising. This is very typical of one of these four composers, but which one was most likely to write this chord structure? Here's another set of chords. This can only be by one composer if you know his music, but if you don't, you will just have to take a wild guess. Here is a third set of chords. Some of these chords morph and some of them slide because not all of the notes move by halftones. One of these composers is a red herring. I threw him in just for fun. Now comes the rabbit hole. I'm going to go into more depth for each set of chords before I tell you who you might have picked. The first set of four chords is most typical of Wagner. To nail it down, let's hear those four chords again. Now, let's leave off the first chord so there are only three. Here are those same three chords once again, but this time I will repeat the second chord down one half tone before going to the last chord, also down one half tone. Finally, to remove all doubt, I'm adding a melody to those chords, and I have removed the doubled notes so that we have an open voicing. Then I repeated the sequence 3 times. Each repeat starts with the melody repeating the last note that we heard. Now, some of you may recognize Tristan und Isolde by Wagner. The next thing I played first is from Scheherazade by Rimsky-Korsakov. I played it right the first time, but now I'm adding a few more chords to complete the idea. The last thing I played at the beginning was Fortress Around Your Heart by Sting. To my ears, those chords laid out this way could easily be by Tchaikovsky, but of course when you hear the whole song in context, you immediately know that this is something very modern. The point is that the chords he uses are extremely sophisticated and could have been written 150 years earlier. If you learn anything from this video, which I hope was amusing, it is that great chords and great chord progressions always work, whether the music is from several hundred years ago or from yesterday. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Leave me comments about anything you'd like, comments about anything you'd like to see in the future, and remember that I consider all suggestions.